And we are doing how to blog today. We're going to start with a very simple way to start blogging and start blogging effectively. And the way you do that, you should already have a WordPress installed on your domain. For example, I use my domain real quickly here, and fuzz out my actual password will be fine. So your new username and password on WordPress. Your WordPress should be installed on your domain name. This is the domain for my personal site. And this is the dashboard. This is the dashboard that all WordPress dashboards look very similar to this, with the exception of maybe a few different plugins here. This is for my personal site, dougcrow.com. I'll show you that real quickly. It's going to be changing here very soon, but this is what it looks like. All right, and this is the WordPress dashboard for it. What I'm going to do today, though, is I'm actually going to do a WordPress post for a client of mine. Okay, and this is for a client who's a doctor who's got a book out called Dead End Medicine. And this is her Dr. Serini, and it's a book about healthcare system in the country, and these are the blog posts that I've already done for him. And this is a site, very simple WordPress site. This is what the site looks like, and this is what his dashboard looks like. So, blogging. On all WordPress sites, there are basically pages and posts. Pages, of course, are the actual, the pages of the pages of the site. Here we go back to this one. The home, the blog, maybe a page about the book, what they do, whatever you want. But the blog is where we're going to focus our attention today on how to get new posts and new content on your site, which should be done at least every other day. Better if it's every day. So I'm going to do a new post for this client. All right, so we click on Posts, and it'll take me to all the posts I've already done. And up here it says Add New. And so what do I write about today? Well, I could sit and write about something I'm interested in or something about healthcare, but we want to make the site, or the page relevant. So you need to go to Google Advanced Search. You go up here, look at Google Advanced Search. Okay, and I'm actually doing this from California. So what we're going to do with this is type in the words that we're going to find some advanced search things with. So let's say we want to write about Obamacare. And exact word or phrase would be, maybe we want to talk about Medicare, and that'd be enough. And here's the important point that I want you to understand. When you do this advanced search, and I'll show you how this works in a second, you want to find an advanced search which is relevant to the news. Okay? So this is the most, do something in the last 24 hours. Click that box, very critical. Everything else I can leave pretty much alone right now, but I want to do something which is in the last 24 hours, and you'll see why in a second. Click Advanced Search, and then go to News. This is in the News. News for Obamacare in the last 24 hours. Here we go. 5 hours ago, top news, predicted a problematic act for senior medical, okay, blah, blah. So why am I doing this for top news today? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this content here. Number one, I want to comment on this, all right? Great article. Okay, so I'll comment on that. But you might want to say, maybe something more than just great article. That sounds like spam, right? You know what? I should probably edit that, to be fair. Write something that's of substance to there, and so it's relevant to the thing. Don't just write great article. That was dumb. But here's why it's important. And I guess something current like this was published today, just about 5 hours ago. I will read this post, and I will comment on it in my own blog, and I'll even reference it, perhaps, in the post itself. Let me read this real quick. Maybe edit this part of the video out. And what I'll do is I'll take a section of this. I'm not going to plagiarize it, but I'm going to take a section of this and reference it in my post. Okay? So new post. And the headline part is really critical here. So if you want to understand how SEO works, there's a thing called an H1 tag, headline tag. That is very highly searched by the search engines. So if I put the word Obamacare in there, if that's going to be critical, problematic, maybe something controversial. Okay, so that kind of headline is basically designed to rile up half the population, because half, or maybe all of them, because half might think it's really great, the half might not. So that's not a bad headline. We'll see. We'll tweak that as we go along. And then what I'll do is I'll take some of my thoughts and content and probably pause the video here and actually write a 300, 500 word blog post referencing the previous one. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording right now and come back to that. If I can pause it. No, I'll have to cut this out. Okay. Now look, I'm adding obviously a question here, which is important. Ask questions, get people to think about things is always good. resume recording. Okay, I'm going to look at some other articles here. I found looking at this article, I really didn't like it that much. It was a most recent one, which is good, but top news didn't really have a whole lot of action on it. Another thing you can do here, quite frankly, if I can change screens real quickly. No, forget that. Let's just take a look at something. American Spectator. These are all highly trafficked sites because Google's recognized when I put in Obamacare and Medicare in the same search, it's going to pull up the top searches out of, the how many, millions. But the past 24 hours is the most relevant thing. But the most relevant one, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Expose the media before it's news. That's a pretty big site. American Spectator is another big one. Junk Science. Think Progress. I'm going to go with American Spectator. It's a conservative site. And we'll use them as some anchor text here. Shellacks Obamacare model, privatization. Okay, that's a good one. So I'm going to go back to my post now and say, as reported in the American Spectator. And David Catron. I'm going to link to him in my blog. And I'm going to quote this gentleman about the shellacking of Obamacare, or how privatization shellacks the Obamacare model. And I got to read this, of course, and find out some good stuff from it. And link the story. I have to really think about this. You can't just put junk in here. You got to actually think about what you're saying and how you're going to link to what he's saying here. Talk about dialogue. This is good. Go with another point here. The way professional articles are written, the headline is critical, and the first paragraph is usually really good stuff. There's an upside-down pyramid where the more you read, the less relevant it is. So probably want to stick with some of what he says in the beginning. All right, we'll just quote him on this. I will reference him and give him an actual quote. And what I'll also do here to make it look like I'm not trying to plagiarize it is quote him, give him credit for it, and I'll actually link to American Spectator as well. So we're going to hyperlink that. There's a hyperlink up here. And put in the American Spectator link right there, which is spectator.org. Okay, and do I want to link? Always put link new window tab, because if you don't do that, people tend to go off your site. This way it'll pop up a new tab. If they want to click on American Spectator, your site still remains on the internet. Okay, so I've anchored. I'm taking my content, and I'm saying, hey, you know what I learned from this stuff is from American Spectator and David Catron's thing, right? So I'm going to link my thing about Obamacare is great for our country to theirs, saying it's the privatization shellacks the model. Okay, so I'm aligning. I'm giving them a backlink. I'm not really helping me out yet. You'll see how that happens in a minute. I'm going to talk about his stuff. Whoops. I could spell. All right. Let's review my blog post from a journalistic and SEO standpoint. I'm on WordPress, just to recap. I went to post and went new and took a keyword, Obamacare, right? And then I went to Google and found a rather new article. This just came out today at 6 in the morning, where the word Obamacare was in the text, and it was on a high traffic site, American Spectator. And I'm referencing both the writer and the first chapter, the first paragraph of this gentleman's post. And I'm putting that in my post, okay? That's critical. All right, so I put that in there, and I referenced how you could read how I write. This is not a journalistic thing, but I start with short paragraphs. Never do long paragraphs in your post. People don't like reading that. If you look at any good journalist, they're always short paragraphs. 2 or 3 sentences per paragraph is all that good copy should be. Even books that are chunked down into small paragraphs are easier to read. So make sure your blog posts are short, brief, to the point, and hopefully ask some questions in there, get people to think a little bit. I asked several questions throughout this. I'm referencing a high traffic site and the author. I should make that not all caps. It looks stupid. Matter of fact, I don't even need to link him. As long as I have American Spectator in there, I think that's good enough. And that's it. Now, in addition to copy, what we also want to have in our blog posts are visuals, because people like to see pictures. They look at the internet, they want to see a picture. So I'm going to go to Google Images, and this is the part that you got to be careful on, because some images are copywritten and whatnot. So try to find something which is already out there on a public domain site. I'm going to put in here Obamacare. There's going to be a whole bunch there, and health. We'll see what I get with that. Here's a good one, because I'm talking about the difference between health and money and politics. This is a nice image. I like that one. That was in Wall Street Journal. Probably don't want to use that one. Cartoons are always funny, gets people to think about things as well. This is a perfect one for my my headline, because my headline is why Obamacare is great for our country, right? And I could take a look at this protester saying why we love Obamacare. It's on Examiner. I'm going to use that one. Quite frankly, that's going to be great, because I'm going to be linked to American Spectator, and they'll hate that. So I'm just going to say that real quick. And I'll show you how to upload an image real quick, because it's really simple to do. In my post, the way this blog is, I have set featured image. First, I'm going to upload the image. So I'm going to save this post, save draft. Now it's saved. Okay. Now I'm going to go to Media and add new media. And I'm going to select Files, find my picture of my funny protester, and double click that. There she goes. And I'm also going to edit the name. That's not a good name to have in there, because the name of the image also gets indexed in the search engines. That's a bad name. So if they can change it in here or not. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have to start over on that one. And I'll edit that too in the video here. I'm going to change it here by editing the name. Call it Obama Cares. That'll be good. All right, now I'll go back to Media and add New. And we'll find the picture that I renamed Obama Cares. All right, now that's in my media files. Go back to my posts. Obama Cares is saved as a draft, and we'll go to Edit. And in this blog format, some blogs you can actually take the media and just add media and just drop it physically, just drag and drop it in your post. The way this WordPress blog is formatted, I go to featured image. That's the only difference you may find in your blog. Okay, and then I'm going to just click on it. And you can put a caption on there as well if you want to, alt text or description. That can also help with the SEO if I put in there Obamacare, Medicare, health. Set the featured image. There we go. Shows us my featured image. Now, tags are also critical. It's important to get the correct tags in there that are actually in your article, right, that are there. And don't try to load this up with tags that are not relevant. My number one tag is going to be American Spectator. Then Obamacare, Medicare. I didn't really talk about Medicare in here. Maybe I'm not going to do that. Healthcare. And what else? Health in general, I guess, is fine. Just add some tags. Because those also get indexed by the search engine. And when we put American Spectator, matter of fact, I should put news in there too. News, recent news. Did I have that in there? Yeah. How do you do this? Recent news is fine. Recent news, American Spectator, Obamacare. This will really help with getting this thing indexed. All right. That should do it, really, for this blog post. And you just go to, now you can schedule it. If you want to write like 5 or 6 blog posts all at once, one day, you can schedule these blog posts to be published like one a day for 5 days in a row. Really, really simple. I'm going to just publish one right now the way it is so we can see it live on the Dead End Medicine site. So now I go back to his site, and I go to the home, and let's see if it's there yet. Does it show up? I need to do something. There we go. It's right there. Oh, I know why. There's another feature on this blog where this is called a slider here, where different articles get posted, and I only have a maximum of 6 sliders there, so it's showing the last 6, not the most recent one. That's a small feature I can fix. But right now it is on the blog, and I can change it so it shows up on the first page here pretty soon. So there it is. There's the blog post. Read more. And there it is. Everything I just wrote. And see, here's the link to American Spectator. I've just given American Spectator a link to their site. They like that. Wow, that's great. Even if it's controversial, it's good for them. What happens with search engine stuff is that gets picked up, and people start linking. They see links back and forth, and it'll help with your search engine optimization for your site. Okay, so that's basically the short and dirty thing of how to do a blog post. Pretty much, you log in, and you go to new posts. Just to recap it for you, write your post up, do some research, get somebody else's. Don't plagiarize. Always reference it, of course, but try to reference something that's more recent in the news. I did this one from today's news with these keywords: Obamacare, Medicare, and this was always go the past 24 hours on the search, advanced search techniques. Okay. Or even the past week's okay, but the more recent it is, the better, because now when my blog post gets picked up, it should help in today's news and help with my getting my blog more visibility. So that's how you do a blog post. Really simple. If you have any questions, you can contact me at dougcrow.com.